Mr. Dennis Aseto and Ndu with you this morning as we continue these conversations. We're now taking a look at the week in review, and obviously with a political move, with things that have been happening over the last few days, and also what is likely to happen today. And we're going to do that having a discussion around the youth perspective. And two gentlemen will be with us in the studio. Asab Cheruiyot is a lawyer. He'll be with us in a short while. And Kamau Mbiu is here this morning. He's the chair of the National Youth Caucus and is in the room this morning. Kamau, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here. It's been a long time since you've been in the seat.
Yeah.
But let's look at a number of issues and then what they portend for the political landscape in the country at the moment. And you'll be joined by Wakili in a minute. But before that happens, let's have Dennis tell you what our proverb is for today.
Yeah, so our proverb of the day comes from Ivory Coast, and a country known for its cocoa, rubber, and also its athletes. But the proverb today is the chameleon looks in front and behind before walking. The chameleon looks in front and behind before walking. How would you interpret that?
The chameleon looks
in front
and behind when walking. Before walking. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a vase where it's going and where it has come from. Mm-hmm. So, because according to me, a chameleon is like a tortoise. Mm-hmm. So it looks where it has come from, and it gets motivated mm-hmm. to continue moving forward. Mm. And also, by the high antenna of a chameleon, it tends to look in front and behind, try to survey and to see who or just to keep its antenna alert on what is coming. Yes,
that's a different way of looking at it.
Indeed,
you just look at where you metoka nimbali, so I can still
keep going.
Yes.
I'm not dead yet, so we can continue. Yeah. All right, okay. Come on. What the National Youth Caucus? What is this?
National Youth Caucus is a group of national youth leaders. We are leaders from each and every constituency. We are represented. We have leaders, the young leaders from each and every constituency. A caucus is like a parliament where we have groups per week, a meeting per week, or that is on Zoom. We speak and talk and deliberate on the way forward as young leaders, and how are we going to continue fighting for space in the national politics, in the political parties. How are we going to be engaged in the conversations that are happening nationally in the counties, wherever we are represented. Yes.
When you say young leaders, can you expound on that?
These are leaders who have prospects of leading the country in specific seats, that is elective positions appointed, but the ones that even in the community, we come together and discuss what are we going to do as young leaders. How are we going to work together? So that we form one synergy, so that we can, even when we are intermarrying with the other parties and the other political class, we have oneness. Yes.
How does one get into the caucus? Do I just wake up today and say, as a seto, I feel like I'm a leader, I want to get in? Or is there a sieving process? Is there an interview? Do you get voted for you to be in this caucus? How does it happen?
No, I started this caucus. I'm the chair and I'm the founder. I started this group when we were having the Gen Z protests. So, having been a leader, even in the last election, having vied, even in the last election, I thought that there are so many young people who are leaders, but they don't know how to get into these political spaces. They don't know how and when to get in, and there is no when. You just do it. So when the idea came to me, it's a registered CBO. I started with Kamau County, because that is my county. Started by collecting leaders from each and every sub-county, one leader, two, and then one collects another, and then we grew. We grew. After I did a few interviews, the movement grew, and we had now leaders from Busia come in. And then I thought, why not now expand it so that we can continue with the talk. How do you join? We're there, we have our pages, we have our platforms. You can come in if you're a leader and you feel you really have a calling as a leader, because leadership is not just leadership. Leadership is a calling. It's a purpose. It's in you. Yes.
Okay, so as we if you want to be a leader, or if you are a leader, that's how then you become a member of the caucus. What activities then are they engaged in that would then push them towards positions where they can, run in an election? We're doing this as we get towards a review of what's been happening in the week, so we can understand, where we are.
So what activities we do, I bring in people to educate the young leaders on the Constitution, the matters that we should be engaging in. And this is really to motivate the young leaders to partake of what is ours. We have been told time and again that we are the leaders of tomorrow, but we are the leaders of today. Now, once we are motivated, once we are trained, once we are given the skills of being a leader, we are taught. I bring people to come and teach us governance, leadership, the skills in leadership, how a leader is supposed to talk, how a leader is supposed, to dress, how is supposed to address such. And then now from there, we tell them and encourage them, now look for spaces in the political space where you can fit in. Parties that fit in with your political ideology. Like myself, I'm a member of one political party, that is Wiper, Patriotic Front. You look for a political party that fits your ideology, a political party that drives drives the motive that you've been pushing. And then now that is how you partake. You partake of the leadership. We teach these young leaders that politics of this country is not just politics. You just have to study how the politics have been, where the politics will be, and now you look the space with which you're going to take off with. Yeah.
So how does the politics look like from your perspective at the moment in Kenya, taking into consideration that over the last 7 days, quite a number of things have happened, whether there's going to be realignments of folks who will be running for office, whether people have left one party and moved to the other. Your party leader said this week that absolutely not, don't expect me to move anywhere and not for anybody. We're also seeing that another party today has an NDC and the likelihood have NDCs today, and the likelihood of some announcements coming out as a result of that will be made public. So what's your perspective on how things are happening in the country at the moment from that leadership incubation point of view?
Basically, we've not been doing so good as a country in terms of politics and governance and leadership and delivery. How the government delivers its mandates and programs to the people. We've not been doing so good. We've been politicizing. The government has been politicizing everything. But according to me, so in the past few weeks, we've not been going so good. I heard that yesterday a delegation from IMF came in here. That is from 25th yesterday to 9th of October. They're coming to study or to renew a new formula of how they're going to give us a loan, or how they're going to support the government to deliver, some projects, to give us money so that we can push on some agendas that are going to help with our development. Because right now there's no development that is happening, but at the same time the president and his administration have been dishing out money at State House, have been dishing out money at economic empowerments, just giving money that is unaccounted for, money that is not audited for. It is not right. And that is why, one, the government is not delivering. on its end. On this other end of the politics that the opposition is carrying on, we're just taking realignment and planning, and that is why I told you, that is what we have been telling these young leaders, that there is how the politics of this land is taken, is approached, and that is why the opposition parties, that is Wiper, PLP, DAPK, DCP, they are arranging their houses. They're keeping their houses in order. That is why we have PLP having an NDC today. We have Jubilee having an NDC today. We will have Wiper having an NDC. I saw there's a gazette notice from the Secretary General of Wiper. There'll be an NDC on 10th of October. And so forth and so forth. These parties, they are, they are organizing themselves for the forthcoming election and how they are going to take over the government. So, according to me, it's good. It's a democratic country. It's a democratic space. We move forward, and for us to be able to send this government home, we have to belong first. And then now, we have to be organized. We have to be united. And unity, that is key. And now from there we will be able to take these people home, because the president is also not a small boy.
As you talk about the realignment and planning for the next election that is taking place, one would ask the question, if you look at where we are, the biggest opposition, one would argue, has been from Kenyans, and one would say the Gen Z movement that rocked the country to 2024, 2025. And as realignments are happening, are we seeing the issues that were raised at the time being picked up as forming conversations moving forward? And are the youth as well being given an opportunity to voice themselves, to have a seat at the table, and equally play an important role as we approach the 2027 elections? And finally, as there is talk on sending this government home, are we voting out the government, or do we know what you're voting for? Or do we just want the government out?
I think with the voice of the young people being heard, and the young people having a seat at the table, I think we have been having that, because one, we have to understand this thing, politics of this land is really different, and is politics anywhere. The Gen Zs went to the streets, and they were asking and advocating for good governance, equitable share, the normal things. They were demanding for their rights. Now, that is one. Demanding is one. Number two, it is given or it is given out and it is delivered through now the political side. Now we have to belong, and we have to ensure that we have what it takes to partake in the politics of the land. And politics is a way different thing. And politics happen, and then elections happen, and then now the governance part happen. You get? That is why we have been having those demonstrations. Now, whoever we've been demonstrating to, they are not listening. So it is our time. Let us sit down. Let us get into the political space. Now get those seats. Get those positions, so that now we can deliver. We can be the change we wanted to see.
Okay.
Yes.
But you do believe that in order to do that, then folks have to be members of political parties.
Yes.
That if they're young people or younger people or people who've not been in the political arena before, and that they have something to offer, from what you're saying, that you have to be part of a present existing political party in order to then get in.
That is true. Or you can either be an independent person, which is very difficult. Two, you can be a member of a political party. We have briefcase political parties, just belonging. A political party that is not that is not strong. and you can belong to a political party that has been that have been an agent of change, that have idealistic ideas on how to change the country, that is pushing forward, a political party that has base at the ground, a political party that is going to help you get what you want. So it is good to belong, because politics, politics and belonging or scooping a seat, a position, you have to belong. Elections is a whole new different level. That is a whole new different unit. Once you get, you have to draw a plan on how you're going to be elected, what political seat you want, how you're going to be elected, which political party, which is like a bus which is going to take you there. And this political party has to be in line with your ideology. And then now from there, once you're elected and you get in those positions, now you become the agent of change that you wanted to see.
Okay.
Yes.
There's often the argument that when folks get into the system, they somehow change. Is there a threat of that?
According to me, it's a question of character. Yes. So if you study myself, what I have been doing since I was born, which school I went to, what was my character in that school, my primary school, my high school, campus life, now I'm in the corporate, how I've been behaving all through. You'll be able to predict what kind of a person I will be. You will be able to predict what kind of a person I'll be from when I started now earning some coin, now growing. Now I'm in that position. Now, number two, it is a question also of why. And that's why I told you, leadership is a calling. If you just want to be elected because you want to protect what you have, you're not going to deliver, but you're going to protect what you have. If you wanted to be elected for government deals, once you're elected, you're going to be a thief, and you're going to get money other than deliver. So now, like myself, if I'll be elected as the next member of parliament of Limuru, I will deliver to the people of Kenya, and I will legislate to the people of Limuru, and I will deliver. The whole mandate I've been fighting for all through. But it is a question of character. That one, the way they change, they change because of, I heard that there's a philosopher who said, if you want to know the true measure of a man, it's not when you give him a lot of money. It's not when they are rich. It's when you give him power.
It's when you give them power.
Yeah.
Wakili Asab Cheruiyot joins us as well this morning. Wakili, how are you?
I'm well.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, sure.
It's a hard place to find.
Sorry for getting late.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you here either way, even as you've come at this hour. But we're having a conversation around, looking at the week that was and what then it portends for politics. Folks are aligning and realigning and getting into a position whereby the selection will be made come 2027. There will be by-elections that will be held come the 27th of November, which folks are saying as well that this will show what, the next year will look like. Are you in agreement?
Yeah, absolutely. I think first and foremost, thank you for hosting me here. There will be election, that is the by-elections in different areas in Kenya, which of course many people, because of what it is termed as unpopularity of the ruling party, people are hoping to see if there will be changes in this coming election. I belong to the UDA, that is the ruling party, and I support. And we have fielded candidates.
What's the ruling party?
The UDA.
Okay, you're a member of UDA.
I'm a member of UDA, yeah. And we have filled, we have our candidates both in the Western Baringo senatorial seat, which of course today they are giving out the certificates in the UDA headquarters. I believe that it will reflect on how on how the elections will be come 2027. Because even in the previous election, you remember the Kiambaa, there was one in the coastal region, which of course the Ruto's team then, he was out of the government, scoop a number of them.
He wasn't in government, just
he wasn't the president, or he wasn't in the ruling party. He had deviated that.
But he was there.
Yeah.
He was in the office. He was the government.
We can say for the argument's sake, he wasn't supporting the government's.
But he was the
candidate.
president. But he was in
the
government.
government. But
He
in
should
terms
have
of the
just
party,
resigned.
he wasn't in the Jubilee party. He had stepped out.
No, he had not stepped. No,
that is the point. So
for the,
I think your question about
we highlight some things that he was not in Jubilee. He had stepped down. No, he had not stepped down. He was a member of Jubilee, and therefore he was the deputy president, and he was the deputy party leader of Jubilee.
Yeah, I do want to.
He was just going against the Jubilee constitution.
I don't want us to retrogressively focus on that. The point is, we are heading to that by-election, and we are ready as a party, and I'm sure that we're going to scoop a number of them. Sure.
What does it mean? What does it actually mean?
Because we have good indications.
Beyond a by-election.
Yeah.
What does it mean when people have scooped particular positions? What does it mean when you look at the outlook of the nation and that now the attention is being put on a by-election and it seems to be a focus for what 2027 will look like when there are very, very many other things happening in the country at the moment? It seems as though what Kamau was saying, whereby young people being brought up, we are taking people and we are recycling them and putting them onto this conveyor belt. So we're just taking people and we say, okay, you want to run for office? Come and then join. And we just continue doing the same thing. What then would be an element for change where we say that citizen-centered leadership and governance is going to take the day? From what you're saying, it's as though, okay, yes, young people are going to enter into this thing, and now we're going to just join the ruling party, and we're going to have the numbers, and then we're just going to continue. What about these issues that we are seeing? Debt through the roof, education in a mess, the health system, we don't even want to start talking about. All of that seems to be going belly up. But what we seem to be focusing on is that, yes, it's the ruling party, it's got numbers, we are going to join and they're going to continue the party.
Thank you for your question again. I believe that even though there are shortcomings in the ruling government, which is a number of them, but also we have to be realistic that we have good indication in the ruling party. That is to say, look at the farmers; they are happy. They have gotten subsidies on the production, on the inputs of production. That is the fertilizer. Look at the health, the old revolutionary things in the health sector. We have now made healthcare not a privilege but a right, because through the of course SHA. People are getting health. I mean, you can go to an hospital and come out without paying anything.
Actually, you can't.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm sure about that. Okay. So I'm saying there are good indications, even though we have the shortcomings. But look at the good indication. Look at the Western Kenya. We have now sugar companies, producing what we can consume. For the last 3 years, we have not, as Kenya, we have not imported sugar.
That's not true.
It's true.
It's 100%.
The last time the Ministry of Agriculture.
The last time the Ministry of Agriculture told you that they imported sugar was when?
That is duty-free sugar. I'm talking about the allocation.
That does not
That is done through the Treasury.
Please hear my words.
Yes.
The last time the Ministry of Agriculture told you that they imported sugar was 4 years ago. That is not the last time that sugar was imported into the country.
You can import sugar only you can pay the duty. I'm talking about duty free. We have. I mean, maybe you guys, you're talking about the industrial sugar. Of course, we can process that in Kenya, but the normal brown sugar we cannot import because we have enough. We have enough in our stores.
So the sugar that is, let's go with the sugar conversation,
sure.
Shall we?
Yeah.
So let's take your big sugar companies, Sony.
Yeah, sure.
Mumias. Give me some more. Mohoroni. Gemalil.
Yeah.
All of those companies today producing sugar, it's being mopped up in the country. Sugar farmers, cane farmers, not having a problem, being paid bonuses. The sugar belt area is succeeding and thriving.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
would beg to differ with you because I come from a sugar belt area called Migori County, and I live in a place called Uriri, and Awendo is where Sony Sugar is.
Yeah.
My father is a sugar farmer, and I would tell you the capacity that Sony Sugar is working in is not doing anything. If anything, farmers are taking their produce to private players.
So for your information, the last time...
as we speak, information that you're sharing is false.
Also, I'll tell you.
The last time, allow me to enter this.
So just hang on.
Yeah, I'm responding to him. The last time, because I remember this and I have it it was published. The last time the Ministry of Agriculture floated the allocation of sugar, which was duty free, it was 5,000 metric tons. The manufacturers or the processors, the millers went to court and said we have enough, and they prove it in court, and it was quashed. The whole allocation was quashed. So unless you're telling me you're a processor, so that you can show by facts that the sugar board of Kenya is not feeding us. It is feeding us up to the next 2 years, and that is a fact in the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Please go ahead. Come on.
I am lacking words because I have not gone once or twice to Chemelil, to Nyamweya, when they have been having demonstrations demanding for effectiveness of those sugar companies. The cost of production that those companies undergo is too high, and they do not meet with what my brother here is saying. The farmers and the companies, they do not go hand in hand. The cost and even the bonuses, these people, they take too long to be paid. So I really wonder which sugar companies you're talking about.
At least you've mentioned the cost of production, because fertilizer, which we are now given as a government by at 2,500, which was before this regime came, it used to go by 6,000. So the cost of production is already reduced, and the farmers are happy.
I want you to tell us specifically that sugar and how examples sugar farmers. Sugar cane farmers received fertilizer at a reduced cost. They put it as an agricultural input, and a result of that have then been able to harvest, and we see that that is where the bonuses have come from. Remember that the 150 million shilling bonus that went to sugar farmers is said to not have come from the sugar sector. Remember that very clearly. So please explain to me how we see these inputs now coming to resulting in these bonuses that you're speaking about, which you said we're going to feed Kenya for the next 2 years. Do simple 1 + 1 = 2. Show us how that has been done.
If I'm to prove to you, I think...
No, it's not about proof. I just want to understand.
Yeah.
You've said... Well, actually, it could be about proof. You've said 2,500 shillings fertilizer.
Fertilizer, subsidized by the government.
Absolutely. We're talking about sugar. Tell us, Sony, Chemelil, Nyamweya, tell us where and how, because of this sugar that you said now will feed us for the next 2 years. That was the statement you made. Tell us how this input will result in feeding Kenyans for the next 2 years, and keeping in mind that the 150 million shilling bonus that is supposed to have been paid out to farmers did not come from sugar.
Yes.
Okay.
How?
the government chipped in. That is when Ruto came into the power. He talked and he was passionate about anything to do with agriculture, because he wanted to. We wanted to. That is the backbone of our economy. When you check on how they chipped in from the bonuses, from paying the debts that the companies, sugar companies had, from the wrangles on the leadership of those companies. Look at the Mummies, and all other sugar companies or the millers. You can see that before this regime, there was nothing happening. And remember, people used to bring sugar outside and package it here. And when this government came, they stopped the importation of sugar. So we can't argue, because
let's just do a straight line so it's very clear what we're talking about here. All right,
sure.
If we're talking about a profit that somebody has made, you cannot have bonuses unless a profit has been realized, unless there is surplus, because in any organization, it doesn't matter what you sell pencils, sell matchsticks, it is when you have a surplus that you will then be able to pay bonuses. All right, so sugar farmers in January this year, so let me just explain. In January this year, were told that they would get a bonus. The total amount of this bonus was 150 million shillings. Now, based on what you have just said, the government stepped in and chipped in, number one. Number two, the government came in to sort out the wrangles that we saw happening at Mumias as one of them. And that is how things now were able to get to at least zero. It is not possible that you tell me now that sugar companies will feed Kenya for 2 years if, number one, the government chipped in for a bonus, and number two, the government chipped in to ensure that the wrangles seen at management level in the sugar companies then were at zero. So how then do you tell me that the sugar companies are profitable after you saw debt relief and after you saw what is now being seen as a makeshift bonus payment that did not come from the sale of sugar? How? I want to understand. Because if we're talking about government intervention, that's different. But in this case, it gives us a false sense of prosperity that doesn't exist.
So, we're admitting that.
I'm admitting that you may be a little bit off the mark here.
Okay.
Kamau? I also want him to make it clear how SHA is working. When I'm looking at the Daily Nation today, that a whistleblower, who is the auditor or an auditor, who said that there were ghost hospitals, ghost facilities, 1,300 rogue facilities that were dishing out money from the system of that SHA. I want you to tell me how a hospital that is not the size of this room, how is it receiving 10 million, whereas a level 5, level 6 hospital somewhere in a month, it has either received 2 million or none. And I want you also to tell me why so many people in Kenya who are sick are going to hospitals. You said SHA is working. Why? It is working. Why then do we have so many cases of people? Every now and then we are attending harambes to go and and fundraise money for people. Where else we have SHA? Juzi bro nilikuwa huko mtaa jamaa anasema nini 1.2 million on Sunday. There's a lady who is in KU referral. She cannot be able to raise 1.2 million. Manze SHA ilimlipia 10k. I want you to make it. I want you to make it make sense. Unajua kuna venye unaweza tetea kitu. No. Listen, it's not a lie. How is it a lie, my friend?
SHA can never pay 10,000.
That is what it did.
If you are owed like more than 50,000, it pays. I want you.
What we will not do, unfortunately, is that we will just say things as they are.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
In this case, if and I'll tell you, and I will give you documentation that we're looking, for example, at a 486,000 shilling bill out of a hospital to my right on this road, down Mombasa Road and into Nairobi West, where somebody came out of ICU and came out of HDU with a 486,000 shilling bill after they had already paid 400,000 from their pocket just to be admitted. And SHA paid 81,000 shillings.
Right.
Which cases are these?
Which cases are these?
Myself. Let me talk about reality now. I mean, leave alone the
your reality is
political
yours.
things.
Ours is.
I have been in the actually right now. I came from Nakuru. I've been in the ground for like 5 months now. I'm vying for the senatorial seat in Nakuru County.
Okay.
I've been helping people in Nakuru General Hospital for the last 4 months. I mean, it happened that I have an office in Joro, a law firm. So we've been helping people. I've been taking people in my car to the hospital, and I've seen help. SHA clearing.
Let's not even talk about help, but okay.
470,000. I mean, clean. The patient came out, she had an accident. I have taken more than 10 of them. You can call a local person, I mean, live on this interview. Just call anyone, even your church, who has gone to a hospital in anywhere, or even a person who's going to maternity, who's been charged. I mean, whose SHA never failed to pay.
Okay, so
I mean,
thing is,
people,
the CEO
at
of
least
SHA,
you should admit that there are, in some cases, it's happening, and we have some minor cases which SHA is failing, and maybe now that is the point that the ministry should focus on. I mean, we can just come here and disregard everything that SHA is not working. It's working, man. It's been working.
Wakili, when you speak about matters to do with healthcare in the country, it is not a question of whether SHA is working or not.
At least
the conversation should be SHA is working.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? And fact that we are seated here today and giving examples of instances where SHA is working and some instances SHA is not working, fact that it's not working for some qualifies for anyone to say SHA is not working. Because at the end of the day, this system is supposed to work for each and every individual who has signed up in SHA. But that notwithstanding, the debate that has been there over time on SHA in terms of is it working, is it not working, there are glitches involved, the offices of SHA have been closed. All these create doubt on how SHA is working or not. When you talk about service delivery from the UDA government, Kenyans should be are the ones who will rate how the government is working. It is not the government to rate itself. It is Kenyans who use these services who will tell you whether these services are working or not. And unfortunately, Kenyans are saying SHA is not working. Kenyans are telling you a university funding model is not working. Kenyans are telling the government that in terms of constitutionalism and respect of rule of law, that is not there. The respect of human rights under the Bill of Rights is not there. As we move towards 2027, the question now is, as the government is, you are vying using a UDA. The question is, have you delivered to Kenyans, and are you convinced that Kenyans are satisfied for the 5 years that you've been there? Are you able to sit there and tell us today that all these promises under the better agenda have been achieved?
Absolutely. We're confident and we are ready to tell Kenyans on their eyes, on their faces.
You know, it's not about
we have delivered. That we have delivered. Look at what better had. Look at talk of affordable housing. Look at job creation. look at healthcare. I mean, which we've worked on it, and it's now improving. Before the time that Kenyans will be rating us on the 2027,
You say
we are
us.
confident.
You say us and we. Who is this?
The regime that is in. He's
You.
asked me.
Oh, okay.
That is the UDA.
Okay.
He said I'm buying through UDA.
All right.
And what
Okay.
will I tell my people for them to to elect me using the party?
Okay.
That is the ruling government.
Kamau, just
So
a minute.
we
I
are
know you're
ready. We
breathing,
are
just a
ready.
minute.
We are ready. And we are sure that the reality is there.
Let me ask you, Wakili, you talked about housing. How many housing units did you, I'm going to say you
Promised,
now, because
exactly.
how many housing units did you promise that you were going to deliver every year?
In your manifesto.
And of course we can
It's
rate.
a question. It's a
We
question.
can rate.
I'm sorry.
We
It's a
can
question
rate.
that needs a number.
Your lawyer.
How many housing units did this regime administration say it was going to provide every year?
I can't mention the number.
Because you don't know?
Because I don't know.
It's 250,000.
Yeah, but I know what we've delivered,
Which is what?
which is 1,200.
1,200
Which is
units
wrong.
have been delivered in what period of time?
2 years.
In 2 years, 1,200.
Yeah.
So that's about 248,000 below the mark.
Yeah, yeah,
800 below the
Yeah.
mark, right? What are the reasons for that?
The reasons, of course, when you're doing a manifesto, we've had regimes. I mean, this is not a new. This is
Talk
not a new
about
government.
UDA regime.
We are talking about people are seeing it. People are seeing it. 1,200 is a plus. It's a progress. I mean,
Over
we'll
what?
achieve that. We'll achieve that by 2027.
Simple math.
We'll be
Wakili,
even if we're
Wakili,
short of that.
I need you to breathe
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a moment.
Yeah.
And let's do some simple math here.
Okay.
We started this thing in 2022. The manifesto was clear. 250 housing units every year is what was going to be done. They're 3 years down the line now. In order for you to say something, there needs to be something that informs that.
Yeah.
You will give information based on, we know that this and the other thing can be done. Now, based on that, we will give you a promise. This is what the assumption is. Now, 250,000 units is not 250. I just wanted to make it clear, because one would say you surpassed it if you did 1,200. Then you would say, okay, actually we surpassed it. No, 250,000 per year. So if you do the math, in 4 years, you would have a million housing units. Now, in 2.5 years, we have 1,200, going by the number that you've given. Is this a disappointment, or are you on track?
Which is still wrong. It's still.
Let's just go
let's
with
use
it.
1,200.
1,200.
So-
Yeah. I mean,
Is it on track?
I can't say it's not. Because
You can't say it's not.
because we have not achieved what we
No,
promised.
please.
Come on.
5 years
Please.
is not yet over.
Okay.
We're here to deliver.
I'll continue from there. Wakili, being a lawyer, you did maths. 250,000 units against being 100%, against your 1,200. What percentage is that?
It's below what we promised.
No, what percentage is that?
I can't do the
That's a
calculation.
0.00.
Yeah.
You know, I think 0.005%. That's below. Below. It's not even 1%.
Yeah.
And you still want to sit here and talk that you have delivered. And also these houses, you building them with money from the Kenyan people, tax.
Yeah, it's an
housing
investment.
levy, my friend.
Housing levy.
Now, I want you to tell me, you have collected housing levy tax.
Yeah.
That money is going to build those houses. Now, when we buy those houses, we're going to buy using our money. Where is the money going to?
It's a long-term investment
Okay.
by
where-
the
to
workers
where?
of Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
it's not
why?
Yet, it's not yet. We're not stopping at. We need more houses.
I have a question
Yeah.
also. Why why are people who are having the pay? What do you call it?
Pay slip.
Pay slip
Yeah.
buying the same with people who don't have pay slips? If my pay slip is deducted 1.5% of the housing levy, and someone else outside there have no space slip.
If you're not interested, if you're interested, we register in Boma. Boma.
Okay, we will sit here. We will sit here and have this discussion in terms of what has been delivered and what has not been delivered.
Yeah.
But as we move forward, we need to understand what is to the table. We've sat here. We've seen what has been delivered, what has not been delivered. Question is, as we talk even about these in terms of opposition coming in, we're looking about alternative leadership that will bring something on the table. In terms of the opposition and their plan in taking over the office, what is it that they are bringing to the table to say that finally we're here to relieve Kenyans from the stresses? Because Kenyans are also saying from the opposition, it is the same people who have been in this government, who are part of this government, who are part of the affordable housing, SHA and everything else. What is the alternative that is coming from the opposition?
First I am...
Don't be distraught. This is about the opposition now.
I think the opposition, we're going to eradicate some of these characters from the system totally, because it is time we have real talks. We say the truth. We point out, and one, Wakili, you have to say the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And you have to say that you have to admit that you are wrong first, and then now from there you'll be able to find solutions. Now these people is just like his boss; he keeps on lying.
Does the opposition as well admit that they have been part of the problem?
Yes, they admit. Mm-hmm. And
and how are they going to fix it?
What is their plan?
Now the thing is, the plan of the opposition, once they come, like now, I have heard my party leader say it once and not again. Once he's in office, is to scrap off that housing levy, because it is Number two, that SHA, it will be streamlined and kept in order. Okay, we'll not go back to NHIF, but you're going to ensure that SHA is working for everyone. And there are some things, and I liked that you told him there are some things that we don't joke with. You don't joke with health. If it has to work 100%. You don't joke with education. It has to work 100%. You don't joke with agriculture. It has to work 100%. Now, so those are two. Number three, the opposition. We have we have agreed that they have been part of the problem, and they are being part of the problem. They are going to be part of the solution, because they know what needs to be done.
Do Kenyans believe that the opposition have the solution? Let's speak about your party leader, one Kalonzo Musyoka. Do Kenyans believe that he has what it takes to transform this country, to change the mistakes of the past, if he has been part of the system that has seen Kenya end up where it is today?
Yeah, according to me, some part of people, his followers, that have been voting for him since 2007. He vied as president. He got 890 something votes, 800,000, 980 something votes. 2013, he got 1.3 to the table. He brought that to the table and gave it to Raila. 2017 added 1.5. 2022 he added 1.8. Now these are progressive votes. These are people who have believed in Kalonzo Musyoka. The other day we had him on TV, and this guy has immense knowledge on how the government should work. This guy has been a minister for foreign affairs, minister for education, minister for labor. He has been a vice president. He was a vice president when Kibaki was there. So this guy and Kibaki won whatever. And when Kibaki was in power, that is what we are eating today. I swear, if I had the late Mutula Kilonzo Senior, the late, he said, one day you guys will sit and you will remember Moi Kibaki. And for sure we do. And for me, why am I with Kalonzo? And why do I love the man? He is progressive, and in each and every ministry he's been, he had to change. When he was Minister for Foreign Affairs, he brought peace to South Sudan. He brought peace to Congo. He has been in talks with Congo. When he was Minister for Education, he came in actually he's the one who implemented HELP. He was the one who gazetted HELP. And they gave I think he's the current governor of Baringo, who was the first chair of HELP. And that is, he has the blueprint.
So
let me finish. When he was a Minister for Education as well, that is when we have experienced free education. So this guy is the mind behind Vision 2030. That is what he knows, and he's been part of the system. But the only problem is he has never been given the mandate to lead. But once he's given the mandate to lead, I think we'll have a better
Briefly,
country.
as we
And it is
wind
time.
down.
As we wind up,
Briefly,
yeah.
as we wind down, how
So,
do we then?
I've heard you asked about the opposition. I didn't know whether they exist a serious opposition, because they're always confused. The last time I checked, they had them talk of we don't have a plan yet. Our plan is Ruto must go, and once he's gone, once we're in office, we'll have to draft a manifesto. They said that, I think, in some way.
No, that's
guys.
wrong.
So if you're talking about the opposition that is led by whether Gachagua or Kalonzo, those are the guys who've been in the leadership. I mean, you can't single-handedly point a thing that a transformative agenda or a transformative thing that Kalonzo Musyoka did when he was a vice president. Yeah, I mean, aside from just being there as a flower person.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we can't say that we have a serious opposition.
Because
they
of time,
can't have a plan. So
because of time, we have to end this conversation at this point. But it's clear, if from anything, that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of information needs to be consumed. A lot of education needs to happen.
A lot of fact checking need to happen.
Thank you so much for both of you for joining us this morning to look at the week that was. Though we stayed on a couple of topics, it's necessary for us to be involved in this discourse. Kamau Mbiu is the chair of the National Youth Caucus. Wakili Asab Cheruiyot also joined us this morning. Thank you both for being here today.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.